Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. Industry leaders and economists are also reacting to Monday's stunning announcement that Finance Minister Dr. Clarke is moving on to the IMF. The details in this report.
A pleasant surprise, but still bittersweet. President of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, Metri Siaga, weighed in on the news of Finance Minister Dr. Clarke's appointment to the International Monetary Fund, IMF.
Completely unexpected, but at the same time, very proud to know that a Jamaican is going to be sitting very near to the seat of power in one of the most powerful institutions in the world. That's really certainly for our region.
The positive and the good that will come out of having someone like Dr. Clarke sitting in the third highest role in the IMF far outweighs the negatives. And I think the entire region will benefit from his appointment.
We're thankful for the service that he has given to the country and the steady hand he's shown. I think we've seen an improvement of our overall macroeconomics under his leadership and stewardship.
Dr. Clarke is expected to take up the role of Deputy Managing Director of the IMF on October 31. But not everyone is surprised. Economist Keenan Faulkner says Dr. Clarke's management of Jamaica's economy made him an easy target for international organizations.
Overall, I think an appointment such as this was coming, even if it was not right now. At some point in the future, you'd expect like a man of Dr. Clarke's caliber to occupy one of those posts at the international multilateral financial institutions, be it the IMF, the World Bank, or the IDB.
As for who will take over the job to pilot the country's fiscal responsibilities, Mr. Faulkner says current Education Minister Favour Williams may be the ideal candidate for the job.
Despite the timing, from a public administration standpoint, you expect many of the policy reforms to continue the direction that we have been heading in macroeconomically for the 6.5 years of his tenure to continue. In terms of replacements, I think there's only one name that is best positioned to occupy the post, given her experience previously working with Dr. Clarke, and that's Favour Williams.
The heads of the JMEA and the PSOJ declined to cough up a name, but they did point out areas they'd want addressed by the next finance minister.
Whilst having the fiscal responsibility on a tight rein, I would like to see the Minister of Finance become a little more proactive in terms of business arrangements and how things move through the Ministry of Finance. Sometimes things are a bit slow because the funding is not there, but sometimes things are a bit slow because of the bureaucracy that exists in such a massive ministry. So if there's any way that we can get that component fixed, I'd love to see that.
I think we need to continue to strengthen the overall economy. I think we need to look at some policies that really grow the manufacturing the sector. I think what's been put in place has given us a framework. And now I think we're going to have to be really smart about where we spend that extra discretionary income that we're not spending on interest.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
To the markets now, foreign exchange trading ended today with banks and Cambio selling the American dollar for an average $158.49. The Canadian is going for $117.85. $207.68 is the average value of the pound, while the euro is going for $177.54. The JSE index declined by 3,383 points, while the junior market index fell by 18 points. Among the 33 winners were MFS Capital Partners, Epley 7.25% preference shares, Blue Power Group, Kingston Key Insurance Company, and Epley. The 48 losers included General Accident Insurance Company Jamaica, Epley Caribbean Property Fund SCC, KLE Group, 138 Student Living Jamaica Variable Preference Shares, and Lasco Financial Services. 25 stocks traded firm. And that's the Business Day. I am Javon Keys. Good evening.